Hello, welcome to Invictus Motors. We've got this Porsche 911. This is the 991 Generation 2 Carrera GTS, and this is ultimately the second generation in the 991 generation that began in 2011. In terms of Porsche's history from 1963, the first 991.1 was actually the third time only in Porsche's history that they actually completely revised a 911 from the ground up. And this being the last of the 991.1 generation, and ultimately after this is where you come into the brand new Porsche 911s, the 992s. This is very unique, rare and special in many ways because the 991.2s ultimately has a very precise, efficient and a responsive transmission, and it's got a 3-litre twin-turbocharged engine, practically the same as what you would expect on the Porsche 911, the 992, the brand new 911s. But where this wins in every department over the brand new 992s is the fact that this has a lot sleeker lines, especially down the back end of things. Whether it be a convertible or a coupe, it resembles what a 911 should really look like, rather than what you would normally find in the 992s, which are pleasant aesthetically, nice to look at, but they don't actually have the sleeker, aggressive lines that you find in this generation, the 991.2s. Also, this have a lot of the geometry point of view and aesthetically, starting from where you actually find these rear LED lights, these vents here on the side, that rear diffuser there. From a design point of view, there's like an aggressive nature to how these lines run throughout the vehicle and how it just sits as a car, from it having the roof shut to that line being running incredibly aggressive at the back as well as at the front. And then on the front, you find a completely revised bumper, starting from the fact that even the front bumper has just been cut into very beautifully, and that line runs incredibly well all the way through. And these headlights look aggressive in the sense that these are also the really expensive PDLS headlights with the dynamic LED cornering headlights. You've got the front design apron as well. This little box there is the radar control for the cruise control, so that sets your distance. It's got the sport design side door mirrors there as well. And ultimately something like this needs to be driven so that I can actually just talk about the performance, what it's like to handle, and overall how it ranks against all the Porsches we've ever had in stock. And if you're actually thinking of getting a coupe rather than a convertible of this generation, it's right behind you. It's standing right there. So that's the coupe generation, and this is the cabriolet. Ultimately, when you want the best 911 all year round, a lot of people in the UK end up choosing a convertible, and it's a Porsche 911 convertible also, I think as a fact, is the least depreciating car in the UK. It's a statistic I came across somewhere. So back to this 991.2 GTS. Before I can get into the driving of it, I just would like to cover quickly the PDK transmission. The PDK transmission is 7-speed dual clutch transmission, in German known as Doppelkupplungsgetriebe. It is practically the best sports transmission you could find, in a sports car in the world. They've got the same gearbox in the Macans, and other than in the Porsche world, only the Caymans, Boxsters, the Macans and the 911s actually use the PDK dual clutch transmission. No other manufacturer, as a matter of fact, has the license to use the PDK transmission, despite the fact that they're actually developed by the ZF company, because Porsche owns sole licensing of it. So therefore, you think of the PDK and you think of a 911, it's a marriage made in heaven. We'll come back to that in a minute, but let me, as a matter of fact, put this in neutral and press this accelerator. And this is what it sounds like standard, and I'll actually switch on, put it in chrono, sports exhaust is turned on. So one of the characters of these being 3-litre twin turbocharged is the burbles and the grunty sound that you get from the exhaust system. And I think that's something to thank Porsche for, to make it turbocharged but still have it sound the way it sounds. So even just poodling around between 20 to 30 miles in this little village that we're in, it still sounds absolutely amazing at the low speeds. And that is a sound that we weren't very much synonymous with when it came to the 991.1 naturally aspirated 3.8 litre engines. And really, at a tap of the paddle shift, the left paddle shift, and dropping it a gear, what a beautiful note you get from the exhaust system. Is it efficient as a transmission? God, yes, very efficient. Because the 3.8 litre naturally aspirated, I mean, they just reached its zenith in the previous generation. You know, at best with a power kit, they were able to get 425 bhp, and it kind of ended there. Yes, they sounded great, sounded amazing, but you had to actually kind of push that car and get the most you could as a driver out of that. Whereas this generation, you've got your work cut off, but at the same time, it's still very much an involving and a driver-focused car. 3 litre twin turbocharged 6-cylinder this produces 450 brake horsepower, 550 newton meters of torque. That's over, I think, 100 and something newton meters torques extra than the generation prior to this. And the 0 to 62 miles per hour on this is possible in 3.8 seconds. And the top speed is an incredible 191 miles per hour. And just overall, the way this GTS is set up, of course, finished in this gorgeous carmine red exterior with a black Alcantara and leather interior setup with extended leather carbon package. In terms of the wheels, they are the matte black 20-inch 911 third generation turbo alloys, central locked. You know, what more could you want aesthetically from a car than everything that this has? Still 30 miles an hour, I'm still under the legal speed limit of this village. And as a matter of fact, now that I would actually go up onto the main road, you could have the electronic wind deflector lift up as well. So that's actually quite a nice attribute. And let's hear it. Fifth gear speeds that I shouldn't be mentioning on the camera, but I've got my foot off the accelerator pedal, and let me drop it 2 gears. Just a joy of a sound. And I'll drop it 1 more. And this was just underneath the red line at under 7,000 RPM, and what a phenomenal experience, what a phenomenal drive. It is so well built, it is so refined, and just overall from a luxury sports orientated Porsche 911, this to me really is perfection. And everything from the way it sounds, the way it handles, it's 10 out of 10. And the way it handles around these corners is like nothing else. And if you want to stiffen the suspension, press that PSM button. The GTS are already 20 mil lowered from factory, rather than 10 mil lowered on the Carrera S's or the Carrera 4S's, because the GTS, it sits lower, the suspension, the whole build of it, and the way it just sits is very different to the Carrera S. I mean, the GTS ultimately is just a model in itself amongst the 911. What I like about the convertible is the fact that the 2+2 layout is incredibly practical, because on the coupes you're restricted by that very sleek roofline, that aggressive roofline, and you know, if you have somebody like me, it's a bit difficult being at the back of it. Bearable but difficult, whereas this, you've got, you know, when the roof is down, you can sit at the back very comfortably. Also, another thing that I've absolutely loved and enjoyed about the 991 generation is the fact that you've got the electronic wind deflector. So at a press of a button, you can have that up or you can have that down. This is a very specky car. I mean, spec-wise, I don't think there's another 991.2 GTS with this sort of a spec. With the sports seats plus, they're hardback with a contrast guards red stitching. It's finished in this beautiful carmine red color, which is the special GTS. And you've got the metallic tread plates, 18-way electrically adjustable with lumbar support. You've got the GT Sport steering wheel, multifunctional Chrono Sport Plus back, the adaptive cruise control. Additionally, you've got the sports exhaust button, the PASM, and ultimately you've got the superb 7-speed PDK transmission with heated seats, Android and Apple CarPlay. It's got carbon package, extended leather interior. I mean, it's not just leather just from this point upwards. What I like about is the fact that it's got leather all the way from the top of the dash to the bottom, and it's got the premium sound system, the Burmaster sound system, the memory seats, and ultimately, if I want a 911 that is jam-packed and that's got everything you would ever want in a 911, this has got it all. And the mileage is very low as well. It's 11,784 miles. From a service history point of view and a paperwork, this, as a matter of fact, has got Porsche warranty up to May 2024. So it's got close to a year's Porsche warranty, which can also be extended. And it's got 2 services from new. The first service was done at a specialist, and the last of the service, as a matter of fact, was done at the main dealer directly. Don't hold me to it, it might have 3 services in total, but as far as I remember, I think it was 2. But it's got a full service history, it's all up to date, and if you actually want a 911 with all the peace of mind in terms of having that Porsche main dealer warranty, this has it. So it's no different to buying one of these directly from the main dealer rather than a specialist. It's got a Porsche warranty, therefore it doesn't make a difference whether you buy this from a main dealer or whether you buy this from a specialist like us. I mean, we do stock a lot of Porsche 911s, so in terms of our knowledge when it comes to these 911s, I guess it's uncomparable to maybe in some instances even a main dealer, because I live and breathe these 911s. It's my hobby and it's my passion. Buying and selling 911s, repairing them, restoring them, and everything that entails 911, I kind of live and breathe it. So thank you for watching the video. We earn out of YouTube. That money gets given to a UK registered charity. We do a lot of work in Afghanistan from a humanitarian point of view. We're building a school there. We've got 120 kids on an orphanage program. So every like, comment and contribution towards the channel makes a massive difference. So thanks for watching this video one more time. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye.